أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Need of Imam of the Age by Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad by Ahmad al-Islam. Now, one very important question is, who is known as Imam of the time? What are his characteristics? And wherein lies his superiority over others who receive revelation, dreams, and visions? The answer to this question is that the title of Imam of the age is given to that person for whose spiritual upbringing Allah, the Most High, the Trustee, who reposes in his nature such as brilliant flame of leadership that he can debate with all the intellectuals and philosophers in every way and defeat them, receiving power from Allah, hence wears all kinds of the most subtle of objections in such a excellent manner that finally one has to confess that he has to come into this transitory abode with all the necessary requirements for the reformation of the world. Therefore, he cannot be embarrassed in presence of an enemy. In a spiritual sense, he is commander-in-chief of the army of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, and it is the will of Allah that by his hand the victory of religion will once more be achieved. All those who come under his banner are also bestowed extraordinary powers, and he is granted all the necessary preconditions for reformation and the whole range of knowledge necessary for repelling objections and for explaining the virtues of Islam. In addition to this, because Allah, the Most High, knows he will have to confront the disrespectful, foul-mouthed people of the world. Therefore, he bestows upon him a high degree of moral fortitude, and in his heart there is a genuine compassion for mankind. By moral strength is not meant being gentle willy-nilly on all occasions, for this contrary to this basis of moral wisdom. Rather, the meaning is that the manner in which small-minded men burn with rage at the words of an enemy or a crude person, so that their disposition quickly changes, and on their faces will appear in an abhorrent forms the sign of a grievous punishment called anger, and the words of fury, rage, and passion burst from their lips in uncontrollable and out of place fashion. This is never the condition of the people of high morals. It is true that according to the needs of time and place, they sometimes use strong language as a remedy. However, at the time of such use, their hearts do not burn with rage, nor do they experience any kind of fury within them, nor do they foam and froth at the mouth. It is true, too, that sometimes they manifest a contrived anger, instill awe, but their heart never loses the state of peace, joy, and happiness.